guys, and it's been a minute since I've made a video, and let me tell you, first off, happy Halloween. Now, what in the world is going on with Nancy Pelosi? What is she thinking? She wants to call into question Donald Trump's mental stability. Pelosi, come on, baby girl. You're the one who got set up by a hairdresser. I mean, Pelosi, it's not like you got set up by the FBI. It's not like you got set up by the military. It's not like you got set up by the police. It's not like you got set up by some military-trained person. Pelosi, you were set up by a hairdresser. And you're calling into question Trump's mental stability? Okay. Anyway, guys, what in the world is going on with Joe Biden? Did Joe Biden just come straight out and say, hey, I'm a racist and I don't give up, and I missed it? I mean, because he's done everything else. I mean, let's face it. The man has straight up said that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. He has straight up said that the poor people can get just as educated as the white people. He has straight up said that if it wasn't for a black woman stocking the shelves, that he wouldn't have been able to hunker down. What am I missing, guys? I mean, what am I missing here? I get his issue. I totally understand what's wrong with him. He was raised in an era, from the time he was a bambino, that to understand that blacks and whites don't mix. That's how he was raised in the 50s and 60s. Okay, that's how the era was, and I get that. It was a segregated time. Still today, he has that mentality, and the people pulling his puppet strings, they try to hide this, but they don't really. They cover it for a minute, but then, oops, he kind of slips out there by saying the ignorant stuff that he says. Now, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, being set up by a hairdresser. How the hell do you get set up by a hairdresser? A hairdresser, and I have nothing against hairdressers, don't get me wrong. Please don't take this the wrong way. But majority of hairdressers have no more education than a GED, and some of them don't even have that. And I know this because I myself went to cosmetology school. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. My point that I'm trying to make here is that they are a hairdresser is not military trained. They're not FBI trained. They're not highly trained in American secrets. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not like secret agents. And she's claiming to have gotten set up by a hairdresser. But then it's, Trump's mental stability because he got corona is what is her excuse? At least if Trump does have an issue, it was because he got corona. What is her issue? Because she got stupid? I mean, let's think about this. Trump might have an issue, which he doesn't. He don't have a problem at all. But even if he does, she's saying it's because he got corona. Okay, she got stupid and got set up by a hairdresser. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you on that one, Pelosi. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm speechless, but I'm really not, as you can see. I mean, I've never been set up by a hairdresser. I mean, hey, I've been wearing a ponytail since the 80s. And I have to tell you, I haven't been to a hairdresser in years, and maybe that's why I haven't been set up by one. But I haven't been set up by a cashier at the grocery store, or a neighbor, or a veterinarian, or any of those people that I do go to on at least a monthly, or people that I do go to. And it's just funny because, most of the time when you hear someone who is in political office going, I was set up, at least it was by someone who was trained in the field of setting you up. Like the police, the FBI, the military, someone undercover, not your hairdresser. But anyways, I'm not going to make this one too long, and I know it's been around a month since I made my last video, and I just sit back and watch it. I try not to say the same thing that everyone else is saying, and that's why I haven't made too many videos lately. That, and I've got real life going on around me, but it just never ceases to amaze me, the level of stupidity that some people have going on. And I have to say, if you are planning on voting for Joe Biden, my God, please educate yourself on this man, because he's this and he's done that and he ain't done shit. And if you can't name 5 things that Joe Biden has done, but yet you're going to go vote for him, you might want to do your research to prove that he's done something. Because other than that, you're just voting for him because you think you have to. And I don't know why you think you have to. Because you really don't. You don't have to vote for him. You don't have to vote for Trump. You don't have to vote at all. So to have the mentality that you have to vote for Biden, you really don't. See, here's the thing, guys. You live in America. You're an American citizen, whether you're white, black, Chinese. If you're a legal citizen, then you're an American citizen. And the truth is don't be a slave to the mentality of who owns your vote. Don't be a slave to the mentality of who you think you have to vote for. Get the facts on both sides. And if you still decide you want to vote for Biden, then by all means, do an educated vote. Don't do an under-educated vote because you think you have to. Because see, when you do something just because you think you have to, that's a sign of being brainwashed. You're just blindly brainwashed into thinking that's what you're supposed to do. And basically that's a good 5-year-old mentality. But once you're old enough to vote, it's kind of a brainwashed mentality. So if you really don't want to continue being a slave, if you really don't want to continue being suppressed and oppressed and repressed and depressed and whatever flippin' pressed you think you are, then I would suggest educating yourself and voting the way you want to, whether it be for Biden or whether it be for Trump, and not voting the way you think you have to because someone else doesn't like it. That's the total. I mean, there's so many people out there that are gonna secretly vote for Trump, and they're scared to outright say it because they don't want the backlash from the brainwashed idiots out there. You don't want to be a brainwashed idiot? Then make an educated vote. And again, like I said, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. If you want to vote for Biden, at least do it educated. At least know that you're voting for a racist. At least know that you're voting for someone who voted to, who literally passed laws to have black people put in jail for little to nothing. You're voting for Kamala Harris, Camel Toe Harris, because today she's black. Today she's a black American. Yesterday she was an Indian American. So, I mean, let's just calm our tits on what race she is or what nationality she is. But I guess she does fall under, the persons of color, because she is color. But fuck, isn't white a color? The last time I checked, white was in the Crayola box, and I thought it was a color, but maybe it's not. So that would make me a person of color too, right? But anyway, let's just calm our tits on what a great flipping human being Kamala is, because she's sitting up there telling rapists. Now think of this, okay? Do you have daughters, sisters, mothers, girlfriends, wives? Let's think of Camel Toe Harris and how she went literally to the jailhouse and told a known, it's not that it's not known, it's known that this guy raped someone, but she's proud of him. I want to know, what the hell are you proud of a rapist for doing? But hey, that's the people you want to blindly vote for. You want to vote for someone who's oh so glad he could hunker down while a black woman was stocking the shelves for him, and his co-partner who's oh so proud of a rapist. There's your candidates for president. Go get educated.